Would you like to introduce yourself to the people?
Good morning. My name is Dennis Wagner, and I'm running for County Commissioner of Precinct 4. My wife and I have been living here approximately 12 years in the county. We have 20 acres. We used to raise cattle, and now we raise sheep. We have bees and chickens and all the dogs and no cats. And I'm running for county commissioner because of the things that happened in the past, and knowing what I know about governments, that we need somebody in there for checks and balances and for knowledge of what's going on in the county, and to get it right and to do the right thing. And if anybody knows me, they know that right is right and wrong is wrong, and that's just the way it is. So anyway, in saying that.
All right, so we are going to be doing things a little differently. Dennis Wagner has asked that we approach the community questions first, so we're going to go into those first. So the very first community question was regarding taxes, funding, and county resources, more specifically, property taxes and appraisal oversight. What is your stance on reducing or eliminating property taxes for homeowners, and do you believe there should be limits or additional oversight on the Rains County Appraisal District and its board of directors?
Well, in saying that, taxes, okay, I personally want to eliminate taxes 100%. I think it's considered to be a wealth tax. I was raised in California. I understand. I got here as fast as I could. So I was raised here in California, and California did it right. They had a prop there, and I don't know what the number was, but they actually made it to where if you buy a home for X amount of dollars, that's all the house is worth. That's all you ever getting taxed on. And I believe at least at the minimum we should do that. If not, eliminate taxes 100%. And I think the state and our new governors will probably get that done and make that happen for us. So it's pretty much baked in the cake right at this point in time. Legislature, if they get rid of it up in the Texas House, then we can get rid of it here. So.
Excellent. The next question regarding taxes is on non-tax funding for animal services. What steps would you take to pursue grants, fundraising, or other non-tax funding to support an animal control officer or animal shelter services in Rains County? Okay,
so that's animal shelters. I've looked in animal shelters before, and I used to run one. They are real expensive. State mandates require certain regulations and certain criteria in a shelter. Shelters today run about $10,000 a square foot. So you do the math, and depends on what size and it depends on the cost. But they're not cheap to run. So, and that's not including the land, and that's not including maintenance and personnel to staff it. I would like to look into getting a tri-county shelter. Between Hunt County, probably Hopkins County and Rains County, get 3 counties to go in together and build a big facility for all 3 counties. That way you can get contracts and interlocal agreements with them to fund it and to staff it and to make the funds available for that facility. That's what I plan to do. But in saying that, a animal control officer right at this point in time is all they're going to do is pick up a dog and take it to a shelter, and probably it's not going to be a no-kill shelter. So
okay, infrastructure and traffic safety. So obviously Highway 19 69 intersection. What actions, if any, would you support to improve traffic flow and safety at the Highway 19 and 69 intersection?
So that's going to be a text dot issue. That's a long-term thing, like Quinlan. I don't know if you've been through Quinlan, but that project took years to make that happen. Here in Emory, it's going to take some time. I'm thinking that's probably a 5-year project. It's a long-term project, and it's going to take a lot of acquisition of property to get around that, one way or the other. So, yeah.
Okay. Technology, privacy, and public trust. When it comes to flock license plate recognition cameras, recently flock automatic license plate recognition cameras have been installed in parts of Rains County, including multiple cameras near the FM 47 and Highway 276 intersection. What is your position on the use of these cameras in the county?
The license plate reader cameras, they can be used for good and they can be used for bad. I don't know what agency put those up. At this point in time, I have to do some research to find out. And what they're using them for, that's another question. So normally, the license plate readers are used for getting felons off the road or alerting DPS or the feds to where if they have a felon that's going down the road or that car is suspected of doing felonies, to alert the authorities for that particular car. But right at this point in time, I have no clue what they're doing. You'd have to check with the whoever the entity that actually controls those. And right at this, I don't know who that is right at this point in time. So they are good if they're used for good purposes.
Right. So some cities have discontinued their use due to concerns about privacy, accountability, and legal risk. Are you willing to review or reevaluate these systems, and what safeguards do you believe should be in place if they are used?
System, what, I'm sorry, say that.
This is on the flock license plate
Oh,
cameras.
okay. Yeah, there should be some kind of accountability there because they just can't arbitrarily run, plates for no reason whatsoever. There are rules, there's laws against that right at this point in time. But it's the individual who is actually receiving the data and what they do with that, and it goes back to where, what agency is actually controlling those cameras. So.
Okay. And the final community question is on environmental protection and future development in regards to lithium mining and water protection. With lithium mining potentially coming to Rains County in the future, what is your plan to protect local water systems and ensure residents continue to have access to safe, clean drinking water?
Okay, multifaceted question. We have issues there. Okay, so we have solar, which is in general, it's the lithium, that's the drilling, the battery farms, and the solar panels. So let's start with the lithium mining, because that's probably going to be a big deal. So it goes into property rights. So individuals have property rights, but they may not have mineral rights. So there's two different rights there. So if you buy the property, you may not have the mineral rights, and I don't. It's like me, so I don't know who has them. So that individual that has the property rights can actually access your property and do mining on your property, and you don't have a say in it. They have the right to do that. But in saying that, they can actually sell the mineral rights to another entity like Exxon or Mobil or whoever it is, and have sublease it out to them, and they would be the ones that actually come in for the lithium mining. Okay? There are rules that apply to lithium mining. That's the mud, not the hard rock, but the mud part of it. And it's different than oil and gas. So lithium mining is under the Texas Railroad Commission. If everybody doesn't know that, the Railroad Commission is actually one that controls that and actually permits those wells to go in. As of February 25, Rule 82 for Class 5 wells, that's what a lithium mine is, Class 5 wells, they actually have restrictions on those wells. In addition to that, the wells, I don't know if everybody realizes that the wells, an average well produces 10,000 barrels of mud, we call it mud, a day. And that's 420,000 gallons a day, okay? And if they can't pipe it out, they have to truck it out. Trucks usually hold 8 to 9,000 gallons of liquid. So that's about 47 to 53 trucks a day that's on the road for one well. Impact is big, okay? And more than likely they're going to be overloaded and heavy. And these roads today can't take the car traffic, let alone, that much traffic for trucks. So, yeah. In saying that, yeah, it's a big deal. I think we should put a moratorium on it, put it on hold, and because the state actually has a legislative update for January 1st of 27, and it goes into effect, and that will help out everybody, make sure that all the regulations are adhered to, and make sure all the restrictions are taken care of.
All right, excellent. So now we're on to the standard questions. What do you see as the biggest challenges in this that you'll face in this role, and how do you plan to handle them?
Well, I think it's the education to the people. That's a lot of work. That's what I've been looking into right now, is informing the people about things that are going on in the county that they may not know about, and put it in just simple language so everybody understands. There's some convoluted stuff over there that that they put out, and it just sometimes it doesn't make sense. I'm trying to have it make sense, and I'm the one that's going to be the why are we doing this person, and I want to know answers, and I think everybody else does too. So previously I was talking about the battery facilities and the lithium mining and all that stuff. So if you guys want to look up Texas House Bill 3824 and House Bill 3809, that'll help you out and realize what's going on there. And just look it up. Thank you.
When you step into a situation where you don't already have experience, how do you approach it to move it forward?
I do a lot of research, and I'll talk to the experts to find out what's going on and see if they're actually knowledgeable in the field that I'm looking at for that answer. I will do a lot of research myself, law, case law, and opinions from the Attorney General, and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the limits of this position's authority, and how do you plan to work within those limits to still create positive outcomes for the county?
The County Commissioners Court we're 5. I'm one of 5 votes. Okay. And I just have to put out information to everybody to make sure that everybody's informed of what's going on, and if I don't think it's right, I'm going to object to it, and we'll have a discussion about why, and present the county commissioners, with evidence and documentation to see if we can make it happen or sway in one way or the other. So yeah.
Okay. Who do you rely on for input when making difficult decisions, and how do you weigh conflicting advice?
I pray first and foremost. And then I usually will sleep on it, because that really helps out a lot, to think about it and let your brain work, because your brain is an amazing thing. It comes up with the right answer usually 99% of the time. But it goes back to the previous question. I'll do research on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you decide what issues should be prioritized when time, funding, or resources are limited?
always health and safety comes first. That's my thing. If it's a matter of that, money's not an issue. It just has to happen one way or the other. And then you prioritize from there. You come down, and if it's a road issue where it's got a crack in it or hole in it, obviously you're going to fix it. Bridges, if they're dilapidated and need to be repaired, you got to fix those. So it's all about health and safety issues, and that's why we're here.
Okay.
That's why we're here.
When a decision you were involved in draws public criticism, how do you handle that personally and professionally?
I deal with that a lot because I'm a code enforcement. I still do code enforcement today, and I run into that a lot. You just have to convince them why the individual is, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and give them a reason and a rationale behind that. Make sure that it's a win-win-win for everybody, because if it's not equitable, and to just make sure that everybody's. It's usually a learning curve, when people don't realize why you're doing what you're doing, and you explain to them, they pretty much understand, where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell us about a project or a situation that didn't go as planned. What did you learn, and how did you recover from it?
Well, so being in the military, you run into that all the time. It's a adapt, adjust, and overcome. Basically, that's the three things. You just deal with it, and if you can't go this way, you go around it and make it happen. And that's my life. That's the way everybody should run that. Yeah.
Can you share an example of working with someone you strongly disagreed with to reach a solution?
Yeah, so it goes back to I do argue with mayors in cities a lot because they think they, are the ultimate. And sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not. And I just have to, get out the books and actually, read this or read the ordinances or read the zoning laws and go from there. And then they understand, and yeah, it's a matter of education.
Okay. How will you make sure that residents, smaller communities, people without such a loud voice are being heard and not just during election season?
That's why I'm here. And I plan on getting a phone and texting and getting to the people that way, so that way if anybody has any questions to me for the county commissioners, I can present that to them. But it will be open and transparent, 100%.
Okay, excellent. How will you handle situations where a decision could benefit someone you know personally, politically, or financially?
I would just step away.
Okay.
I wouldn't say anything.
And how do you balance data, expert guidance, and lived experience when making decisions that affect the county?
Whew. You just have to, that's a good question. So in saying that, there is the spirit of the law, and then there's the letter of the law, okay? And they may not look alike, okay? I.e. a stop sign, 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of nowhere, no cars coming. Do you stop at the stop sign? Is it there? And the reason for that stop sign is to prevent an accident or prevent a death. It's not a matter of giving somebody a ticket, so you have to weigh all the variables in that decision. So.
At the end of your term, how should residents measure whether you were successful in this role?
If they're asking me to run again.
Okay,
That's it. That's it.
If you could realistically accomplish only one meaningful improvement during your term, what would it be and why?
Oh boy. I think we should get a water development board here to protect the groundwater. We don't have one. Van Zant doesn't have one. Out of, let me get my notes here. So out of all the counties within the district here, only 65% of them have a water conservation district. Okay, that's my goal. I have to go to Austin, get them to do it, or we can do it personally. It's the easier way is go to Austin and have them just implement it there, and that way we can set up our zone here. But the groundwater conservation district controls the drilling, so you don't have to worry about people or entities coming in and sucking all the water out of our aquifer. We do have an aquifer on half the county, and there's a lot of water underneath that, and it goes quite a ways north and south off to the east. But if we don't have that, there's no control over, you know, when they punch a hole, they can put an 8-inch pump in there and just pump it dry, and we can't say anything about it. But I want to get that done.
All right, excellent. Now, lastly, is there anything that you would like to say to the people?
I'm here for you, and I firmly believe that I can really help out the county with my knowledge, experience, and background. It'll happen.
Excellent.
Thank you.